Good evening. In 12 lines, Rabbi Nachman will change our perception of the righteous. At the level that the righteous reaches is beyond our imagination of what we think holy people are and do. He tells us in Yamash Emar, the Gemara, but it says in the Gemara that Natan bo enav v'naseh gal shel atzamot. It's a famous phrase. It's in the Talmud. It says that the righteous, in this case the Tanaim, the Amoraim in the Talmud, put their eye on a person and turned him into a pile of bones. Now, the tzaddikim are definitely not turning people into piles of bones literally. Some people would like to say, no, Avram, you're wrong. They are. But we never found such a pile of bones, first of all. And we know that they speak in a figurative way in order to make a point and also to expand the multiplicity of meanings in their words. So what does this mean? He put his eye on him and he turned him to a pile of bones. The Rebbe goes on, what does it mean? He put his eye on him, because it really could be translated, he put his eye in him. The tzaddik has the ability to put what he sees in your sight, in your mind. That we're not just, people talk about reading minds, but it's not that. It's giving somebody else a perception of where they are. So that's Natan Enav Bo. He put his eye in him. And Umana Segal Shalatzimon, what is this idea of making him a pile of bones? A person does not see the damage of the sins. He does not really see how far a sin reaches into the ladder of his soul. When you learn the structure of the worlds according to the Kabbalah, you'll see that there are uncountable levels, and they reach to the highest places in heaven. But we don't see that. But the tzaddik does. He goes on, but tzaddik roeh, he sees. Tzaddik yeshlo einei Hashem, because Hashem put his eyes in him in order that he could see. See, Hashem is our shepherd, but he makes human beings, the righteous, on hands shepherd. And how do you, if you want your shepherd to be good, you have to show him what he needs to see. You can't take the sheep out on the hillside and not know where the wolves are, where the caves are, where the water is, where the fruit trees are, where the thorn bushes are that you don't want the poor sheep getting stuck in their wool and the thorns, right? So God puts his eye in the shepherd. But here we're not worried about just sheep, We're worried about human beings and their path in life. That's the tzaddik's job. And this is the idea, Einei Hashem ela tzaddikim. The eyes of Hashem literally go into the tzaddik to help him help people. Shat tzaddik yesh lo Einei Hashem. He has these eyes of Hashem. Einei Hashem hem mishotetot b'chol haaretz. It's a famous verse from the prophet Zechariah that the eyes of God sail all through the lands. V'nipsa, we find Shat tzaddik ro'eh ad eichan pagam megia. So the tzaddik sees where a person has caused a defect in the structure of his soul. Zeo perusha Gemara. And this is what the Gemara says. Natan einav bo. He put his eyes in him, in the tzaddik. Klomar sheyeh ro'eh b'neihem shel tzaddikim. And then the tzaddik puts his eye in the person. You see how it works? God puts his eyes in the tzaddik, and the tzaddik puts his eyes in the person that needs to see what's really happening with his soul. So it's like a sharing of eyes, of vision, spiritual vision. And this idea of making him into a pile of bones, this pile of bones is the lashon of gal, is hitgalut, the idea of the revelation, because the eye, when you reveal, your eyes close and open, but the eyeball is also able to turn. And so the turning of the eye is a language in Kabbalah of the lifting of the eyes. Esa anai el ha'arim, lift up your eyes to the heavens. Not just the physical blue sky, but to the heavens are, of course, the righteous who are compared to mountains. And so the turning of the eye is the idea of giving that revelation power to a person in order that he should see. Vatzamot biloshin, and this idea of the bones, otzim einav, he takes another verse from the prophet Isaiah, otzim einav, close your eyes, miraot bera, from seeing bera, in evil. It doesn't say seeing evil. Sees seeing in evil. What's the distinction? Dainu shu ro'eh masha pagam. He sees in the evil that he has created. That a person creates when he has done the wrong thing. Shayad nistar mimenu mekodem, because before a person does tshuva and receives that inner eye, he doesn't even know necessarily what he's done wrong. Certainly if he doesn't know the Torah. But even if you know the Torah, you don't necessarily know where every deed, every word, every action can cause damage. Because people are extremely sensitive beings, and they have extremely sensitive wiring, if you will. Spiritual wiring is extremely sensitive, and it's the type of thing that you won't even know what you've done when you've said or done something. The Rebbe completes the whole Torah with this last sentence. There is no punishment like this. When a person sees the level of the damage he has caused, because that causes the greatest pain. Of course, that pain translates hopefully into tshuva, into regret, a little bit of remorse goes a long way, and a little bit of hope to repair and to fix. And if we get that, we're already on the right track. And so you see, in this short space of one Torah, in Likutei Moharan 98, he has given us a deeper perception of the righteous and how they operate in the midst of the nation, helping us to grow and come closer to Hashem. May we all see the beautiful things in people as well, the great good deeds that Jews are doing all over the world. All the best.